Alright, here we go, guys. Let's do some long division, Calc kids. So today we are looking at 2.48. There might be 3 sections to this one. Quick review. How do we do long division? This bad one's gonna be a noteworthy one. This one not so much. First, I look at 13. How many times does 13 go into 5? None. How about 52? 13 plus 13, 39 plus 3 plus 2 is a bunch. Divided by 4. I'm sorry, guys, just messing with you. It is 4. It's 4 times 3 is 2. 1, 5. So we get 0. Bring down the 5. How many times does 13 go into 5, guys? 13 goes into 5 0 times. Correct, 0, 5. So you get 40, remainder 5. And remember, what you do with that remainder is actually going to be 40 and 5 thirteenths. You put it over your numerator, what you're dividing by. Okay? I'm sorry, your denominator, what you're dividing by. Jeez, oh Pete's. Hey guys, you may be wondering, what's the world going on? I went from one picture to another. That's because I was having power problems before. Didn't get this one finished, got it started. So we're gonna finish it now with good old Frankenstorm Sandy hitting right now. So we're dealing with 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts, but that won't hurt us. Okay. So remember up here we did this long division. We got 40, remainder of 5, I think, off that in my head. Right, so it's gonna be 5 thirteenths. So let's take a look at this big noteworthy beast. Okay, kind of talked about a little bit before. Okay, we're just going to worry about this lead term here. Don't worry about this minus 5 until it comes to multiplication. The first thing we got to ask ourselves, we go right down the line, how many times does x go into x cubed, or not cubed, fourtheded? Well, what times x equals x to the fourth? Well, x to the third does. So on the side note, I'm going to go, what's x to the third times x minus 5? Well, we get x to the fourth minus 5x to the third, right? Now for the tricky part, we have to subtract this beast, okay? And we subtract it, what happens to this negative? It's going to become a positive. So these cancel. We end up with 2x to the third. And then we have to bring down our next number. Plus 5x squared. Okay. Now what I gotta ask myself is, well, number 1, why is my eraser so small? Number 2 is gonna be, how many times does x go into 2x to the third? It goes in positive 2x squared, because x times 2x squared is 2x cubed. Okay. Scrolling down. Little sidebar, 2x squared times x minus 5 is, well, we get 2x cubed minus 10x squared. And now we have to subtract this beast, so that goes through to everything. That's going to become positive. These guys cancel. We get 15x squared. I'm going to bring down my next term, which is minus x. Okay. I'm changing colors. Call me the chameleon of this. How many times does x go into 15x squared? Well, it goes in 15x times, because what's x times 15x? It's 15x squared. 15x times negative 5 is negative 30, 60, 75 x. Okay. So we do some fancy addition. Or should I say subtraction? Don't say that's a ball, because addition is the addition, or subtraction is the addition of negative numbers. Alright, now we're going to distribute our negative sign through here. That's going to become positive. These guys cancel. We end up with 74x. I'll bring down our next term, which is plus 7. Now, how many times does x go into 74x? Well, if you guess 74 times, you are correct. 74 times x is 74x. 74 times negative 5 is 370. Yeah, I cheated on that one. Nope, that's going to be minus. Distribute my negative through, becomes plus. These guys cancel. We end up with 377 is our remainder. So do you know what we do with that guy? We take it for a stroll. A little walk up here. So it's going to be 377 over x minus 5. Where do we get the x minus 5? Well, this guy's going to take a little stroll over here, right? Denominator still denominator. And there we go. Some simple long division. Okay guys, let's do another division problem for fun. This time we're going to divide 2x to the fourth plus x cubed minus 3 by x squared plus x plus 1. Okay. First thing I'm going to ask myself is, well, I'm just going to look at this first term. How many times does x squared go into 2x to the fourth? Well, I'm going to say 2x squared. Because what's x squared times x squared? X to the fourth. Need that 2 in front. So I multiply everything by 2x squared. Oh! It's been updated. Okay, so we end up with 2x to the fourth plus 2x to the third. Okay, now this one we can't trouble times plus 2x squared. These guys don't match up. Because when you write these guys, don't get mad at me, I need these placeholders. Because I have 0x squared plus 0x minus 3. Okay? So that way I have all my terms, all my types of x's. Now I'm going to distribute my negative through, which makes this guy negative, which makes this guy negative. These cancel. Negative x cubed minus 2x squared. Bring down my next term, plus 0x. Next thing I gotta ask myself is, how many times does x squared go into negative x cubed? Well, it goes in negative x times. Why did I use green? Negative x times. It's negative x times x squared. Well, negative x cubed. Negative x times x squared, or x is negative x squared. What's negative x times 1 is negative x. Distribute our negative through. All these become positive. Cancel out. Negative x squared plus x. Bring down the next term. Minus 3. Almost there, guys. Okay. How many times does x squared go into x negative x squared? Well, negative 1 times. Okay. So negative 1 times x squared is negative x squared minus x minus 1. Flip my signs. These cancel. I get 2x minus 2. And now I gotta ask myself, how many times does x squared go into 2x minus 2? Well, it doesn't. So we're done. This is our quotient. And this is our remainder. Okay, guys? By the way, make sure you're watching this because this example is definitely noteworthy. Alright, next slide. Remainder theorem. what the remainder theorem says is if polynomial is divided by some x minus k, the remainder is, well, is f of k. So that means f of, if you plug in this k, that gives you the remainder. Okay? Go ahead and write this down. We'll see if it works. Well, you can pause the video. Okay. Find the remainder when this is divided by x plus 3. Well, I'm going to do this super quick method. Okay guys, last slide. Using that remainder theorem, we're dividing this function by x plus 3. We could do this the old-fashioned way. Now, the reason why the remainder theorem works the way it does, which says if I'm dividing by some x minus k, then I can just plug it into my function. That means is for this one, I'm actually, for my k, I'm actually Moby problems time. You're actually subtracting a negative 3 on this guy, right? Because we always have to have it in that x minus k form. And that's going to come up with synthetic division too. So what I could do is divide this out, find my remainder, and be done with it. But an easier way is to take f of negative 3, which is our k. Okay, because we said k equals negative 3 up here. So f of negative 3 is 2 times negative 3 squared minus negative 3 plus 12, which equals 33. So 33 is the remainder. Now this is really good when you're checking work. See if you did it right. Moby problems, guys. I'll use my mouse to write this last little r. There we go. Well, I'm laying the pen in my Moby charge because it died. I'm going to explain to you why the remainder theorem works only for x minus k. Because if you look over here, whenever you're dividing by just an x plus or minus a number, a constant, and you're dividing a polynomial, you're always going to get a number out. Okay, that's not the same as if that's x squared, you're dividing by that. Sometimes you get an x for remainder. So this only works if you're dividing by x minus h. Okay? Don't try it with any other ones. It only works with x minus h. Okay? Here we go. Here's what I want to show you guys just for proof. Let's see if my Moby's charged. I'm going to go rapid fire through it. And by the way, guys, this part right here, definitely noteworthy. I know I just erased this, so I'll bring it back. Definitely noteworthy, guys. Okay. Here's my proof why this works. Put up here. So x plus 3 into 2x squared minus x plus 12. So it goes in 2x squared, 2x squared, 2x. 2x plus 3 is plus 6x, subtract, cancel, negative 7x, x goes into that how many times? Negative 7 times x is negative 7x, negative 7 times 3 is negative 21. Change your signs. These cancel. 33. Hence, we got the same remainder. But we could have just plugged in negative 3 for it. Alright guys, that ends it. Toodles.